off this weekend. Otherwise, it would have been 100.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. While we're waiting for people to sign on, I'm going to, off to the side, prep a couple things that I want to show you. That way, we'll go a little faster. So you're not seeing what I'm doing, but I will show you other parts and pieces. So it's actually a nice day today. I mean, it's a little bit gray, but it's been grayer over the last couple days. So I guess they're saying if you have stuff to do, today's the day. So we have a lot going on in the store. We're getting ready for next week. Just FYI, we are going to start our Black Friday and Small Business Saturday sales on Monday. So look for that on Facebook. I'm going to have Jess, maybe she can add a page of all our specials. And I know not everybody that watches can come in. We are going to do something for Cyber Monday. Might even do that Sunday, Monday. But for those of you that do watch, you can always give a call. And if we have it, we'd be happy to mail it out to you. It's just really hard to kind of put specific things online and watch both when we're going to be really busy in the store. So we'll do our best to help you out. So let's see what we're going to get started with. We have a little bit of show and tell that came in, and I'm going to share a couple cards with you that were on my to-do list to get done. So I'm actually going to do them while we're here. So first of all, we did get a small order in from Creative Expressions, and I wanted to share this one because he's so stinking cute. That little Stitch Santa guy. And you can see all the different parts and pieces. So we got him in. We got a couple of him. And little by little, we keep getting some products from Advantis and Tim's Christmas release. And I want to share these with you because these are kind of fun projects. You could actually do them in your cards, but people that are doing journals and Christmas books, these are kind of a nice addition to put in. You can actually make this into a greeting card. So these are the Christmas mini file folders, and there's larger ones. But these are one of the products that really intrigued me. And these are the pocket cards. And you can see all the different parts and pieces on these. So they're really, really taped in there good. So let me get some scissors. See if we can open this one. I think I'm going to end up destroying this one, but that's okay. This one will be mine. Here we go. To think that this is somebody's job actually to package all these, tape them together, and get them in that box perfectly. So these are just mini pieces. You can use these in collaging. And I can see these in a lot of mixed media projects. These are actually really fun. They're beautiful designs. You can see that there's front and back. Some of these would make card fronts. And maybe over the next week or two, I'll actually come up with something with these and share those with you. And then they have the larger pieces. So these are the pocket cards from Advantis from Tim. I wanted to share some card samples that we've done over the time, and just kind of now's the time everybody's kind of, hopefully you're either starting or wrapping up your Christmas cards. But this is the Bottle Brush Tree Die from Spellbinders, and you can see there's the solid back for the large and small. They actually give you little stars and ornaments that you can put onto your trees, and the little tree base. And here we did this in a rainbow. That's a lot of die cutting for one card. So this person, it would be really special that you're going to give this card to. But you can also make smaller versions, you know, doing 3 on a card front. So it's just a fun die and something different that we haven't seen from other companies. And that's the Spellbinders Bottle Brush Tree. Okay. One of my favorite card companies is Whippersnapper. They're just so much fun to color. So when I just need to kind of relax and chill, I always go for a Whippersnapper card. So Kim did 2 cards that were featured on our blog, I think this past week. So these are the 2 that Kim did, and they're adorable. And I had done the same, and I want to show you just using different colors, how you can change up that one stamp. So if you're doing multiple cards, sometimes just doing one you kind of get bored. So to do them in different colors is kind of fun. And I really fell in love with this stamp and die from Mama Elephant. It's a sentiment set. And you can just stamp them, or you can get the die cut. And I did a couple other cards from Whippersnapper. And the other thing is, I found that there was not a lot of traditional red and green papers this year from the company. So I had a hard time. So I just went in my stash and I pulled out some green gingham and added some little red embellishments on there. And then we have a little sentiment on the bottom for that one. And I love this one. His name is Twitch. And another little sentiment, the Be Jolly from Mama Elephant. So we have a lot of samples that are colored for the Whippersnapper. The other thing I like about Whippersnapper, if you are a Copic marker color, you could very easily match your colors, especially if you have that color chart that we sell. You'd be able to match and do exactly like they did on the front, or you can always go ahead and experiment and do whatever colors you want. So those are the Whippersnapper. And I want to share one of the cards that we did in Stamp Camp, if you missed it, in our holiday Stamp Camp. And this is actually an embossing folder from Spellbinders. And let's see, it's called the Laurel and Bows folder. If you can see, it's an embossing folder with a die in it. And you can actually see that with my finished card. We definitely cut down the front piece that we used, much smaller, so you don't always have to use the entire size. And it actually eliminated the bows on here. So you didn't see the bows. You kind of see a little bit over here, but not so much. But it doesn't matter. We did it in the white. We put the sending a little holiday sparkle in the center. This is popped up. And then we used, I love this little die. It's just very simplistic. The little swag die from Sizzix. And we did them in white. And we colored them with our markers or pencils or whatever. And added those on here just for a touch of color. The other thing, maybe I would have done you have to understand that these are for stamp camp, and I think this time they got 15 cards, and we die cut and prep everything, so time is kind of, crucial for us trying to get everything done and the kit's out the door. But maybe adding a little red or green mat around here actually would have looked really nice too. So this was from Sizzix and Spellbinders. So this is a Poinsettia Die, and this one is from LDRS. And I used the paper packs from Memory Box. It's 100-pound paper, and they come in multiple color shades. So I used the berry red, and I picked the little deeper color and then the lighter color that goes along with it. And then I used the yellow from another yellow pack to create the flower. In the green pack, I used 3 different greens to do the leaf. And this is the paper that I'm going to use. This has this little decorative edge. The rest of it doesn't have anything, so really for the card that I'm doing, I'm really going to get one, but I can see using this background on other cards or, the other side. It's not that it's going to go to waste. This would actually make another really simple card. I could cut it, pop it, or just leave it as is if you're in a hurry, but there's other uses for whatever is left over. So I wanted to show you, this is a mini slimline card, so it's a little bit smaller. And from my mat, you can see I cut down the bottom edge, so I have that border down at the end. And this is the mat that I'm going to put behind this paper. And from that center, I cut my sentiment, and this is one of the creative expressions. Christmas greetings. I love this one. So I'm going to adhere my mat. And here's my glue. I know the other day my glue had clogged up, so I actually cleaned it this morning. I always kind of use my center if I'm matting and you're not going to see the design, where it's cut out underneath. It just saves on paper. I mean, you can go through your stash and you can save every little scrap, but it gets to a point that it becomes like overwhelming then. You get too much. And it's always kind of a good time once a year to purge it and start over again. And actually, it's such a good feeling. So I'm using the little higher pop dots from Scrapbook Adhesives. And I'm going to pop that on the card. But look what a nice border that makes on that card. I have my poinsettia. So put a couple pop dots on that. I'm going to set that over here. I have my Christmas greeting die cuts. So I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive. Put that in the top, whoops, that little top corner. And one of the things that I like to do is just take a little scrap piece of paper, and I'm kind of flattening out the glue and just kind of tucking it and sliding it underneath to anything that's lifting, and that way you don't get a big clump of glue. And now we have to decide where we're going to put our little and I just tucked that underneath, so it's kind of stuck there. And there's a really kind of quick, easy card. So that's card number 1, using this Poinsettia Die from LDRS. I have another card to share with you. It's so much fun actually crossing something off your to-do list. This die is from Honeybee, and it's their anemone flower. And for those of you that did Stamp Camp, I used that kind of shimmer paper. It's the bling from Basil, and that's what I have on here. So a lot of times I will cut everything in white, and then I will go and color with my Copic markers just over the white. I mean, I think I save a lot of time. So I'm not like finding a little piece of green paper, finding a little piece of black paper, blah, blah, blah. I could just go and color with my Copics. You could probably, if you had watercolor paper, do your watercolor on it. And see, you can still get the shading. And there's a lot of different layers that are going to go on here. So we have that little part. And this one we have the little flower bud. And this is probably one of the few times that I actually use the chisel side of a Copic marker. And if you notice, I'm going like back and forth from the light and dark just to kind of blend those. Once again, these have layers. And what I wanted to do is add a little definition. So I actually have Hickory Smoke Distress ink. On here, just to make it not so white. And it actually makes the white, when you kind of put it around the edge, it makes the white inside even whiter. And in the bud you can see there are some lines to give it definition. So you can see that little flower. And I didn't glue it exactly. I kind of offset it so you can see that there's layers. And then we're going to just ink each layer of these flowers. I don't want too much gray. I was actually looking for pumice stone, which I love, but it's a little more of a taupey color. And I think the Hickory Smoke is a cooler color, especially because of the paper base and the colors of the markers I'm using. So this is working better. And you can see the way I'm just holding my paper and just going around and getting some of the edges and not getting everything. And always checking it on my paper so I don't get a super heavy area. The paper, the red paper that I'm using down here, there's a beautiful collection from Vicki Boutin for the holidays, and this is the back side of one, and that red is just a beautiful, beautiful red. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive kind of just in the center, because I'm going to kind of curl this up to give a little bit of dimension. I don't want everything totally flat, to give it a little bit of a layer. And on this one, we'll kind of use my finger too to give it some shape. And I'm going to use one of the pop dots on it. So you can see how just that little bit of gray makes that white brighter. And we'll put our little flower center. And I chose not to use a pure black. And I'm going to flip this over and do this. And I love using the Copics on this bling paper because the little bit of sparkle comes through. Okay, and just going back over, especially on the end where that last dark color ended. So now I can put my card together. Because this is a thinner paper, I'm going to glue it flat down onto my card. And then this time we're using the Sending Love This Christmas from Creative Expressions. We have a whole slew of different sayings, and let's just get this center out. And I could have used adhesive. I could have put a double-sided adhesive on the back and cut this, but I didn't decide to do a double layer until after. So we're just going to line this up. And sometimes just doing the double layer or a triple layer on the sentiment makes all the difference on your card. And now we have our little flower. And we just kind of have to play for placement. So do I want that down there? This little sprig up here. This little layer goes. Put a little bit too much glue on there, and we'll kind of just offset it so it looks a little more dimensional. I think I like the green down at the bottom because I have a little bit more open space and it kind of fills that little void better. So I think, what do you think? I think I'll go back and add a couple sequins, but I'm going to, since I have a lot of pop dot already, I'm just going to glue this down. And a lot of times when you get a card set up a certain way, especially if you have more parts and pieces, a lot of times I'll take a picture with my phone to remember how I set it up. Because I was like, oh, you had it perfect, and then you're going to decide like, oh my gosh, how did I have it? And we're just going to add a little bit of adhesive on the back of that. And I'll go back and kind of put a little bit too heavy. But I wanted to show you, there is that card. And sometimes when you think, you know, maybe this is too big for this A2, you could pop it onto another card and look at the difference. Just adding and making it an A6 card. So that you can leave just like that, but I think it looks better on the A6. So this is why I didn't pop everything up, because I'm going to pop this onto here. So thank you guys for bearing with me, because I just got this off my to-do list for this weekend, so I can focus on 2 projects. We're going to be doing a 49th and Market Christmas book, so I'm hoping to start that at home tomorrow during the Bills game, and I'm kind of happy the weather's going to be kind of lousy, so I won't feel bad not going out. So you can see I'm just popping that onto there. And there's that finished card. And like I said, I'll probably just add a little sequence or some bling on there, but that card's done. So that one was using the Honeybee Anemone and the Sending Love. The other thing is, like that flower, you could use this, you could do the flower in different colors. And it doesn't have to be Christmas. It could be, it's really like a winter flower. And you can just do it for birthday cards or get well, so there's multiple uses for that. So the last couple things I want to show you. We got a few more things into our kids' collections, and I should call it not our kids' corner, but not just for kids, because I know there were a couple adults that got some of these products because they thought they would want them. So we got these glitter gel pens in all these cool colors. And this pixie paste. Look at all those fun colors. And I believe they're, it's a brush on glitter glue. So I know Adeline's going to love that. We got these Rainbow Sparkle. These are watercolor gel crayons, and they have sparkle in them. So these are definitely not just for kids. These would be a fun thing to use. And these are just a fun little kind of like stocking stuffer or just a fun little gift. These are crayon colors, and this actually will pop off and you can put it onto the top color, so you can use any of the colors. You just separate them and stick it back on top. And who doesn't like a little bit of bling? And these I remember loving when I was young. These scratch and scribble little kits. So there's some mini kits. There's a little rainbow, and we have the little dinosaurs for boys. And they're on this black paper, and they give you the little tool to scratch off to create these designs. And then we got the little larger versions. We got the little monsters, and we got the princess version. And who doesn't love stickers? Little bug stickers. These can, I can see boys loving these and little girls. So these are our latest addition to our little kids corner. So you'll find those. We do have those online too. So if you're far away and you can't get to them and it's something you think you would like, you can definitely order it online, and you can always call us. If you don't find it, we can pull it and we can get it out in the mail to you. So I think that's what I have for you today. Let's see if anybody has any questions. So once again, looks for our sales coming up for next week. Look for them in an email on Sunday. We'll try to post a section online for that, and it'll be on Facebook also, so you can find all that information there. And I think that's it. I don't see any questions coming in, so I'm going to sign off. Donna has a class this afternoon, and we're going to get the space cleaned up and ready for her. And we're working on gathering all our stuff for our sale next week. So we got a lot to do today. So Sadie is waiting there patiently. Let me just switch over to Sadie. Let me see if I could take this off without... So there's Sadie. And she's like, come on in it. If you come in to visit me, bring me a snack. So she's like wagging over there because that's what she wants. She wants a little treat. When I'm talking to people and not paying attention to her, that's what she'll do, this like, yep, like that. She's like, come on, give me something. So everyone have a wonderful weekend. Go Bills. And we'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us. Bye.